All right, so let us begin. Paper number MTH 606B, Operations Research. So this is the 6th course of semester 6. Now in this course, let us see this. We will see the syllabus first. Now let us read course objectives. In this course, we will study linear programming problem. In short, we write it as LPP. Then second objective, we will solve this LPP by simplex method. Then we will see in simplex method, sometimes we will get unbounded solution. Unbounded means if there is a variable x1 can take any value. We say that it is a unbounded solution when certain variable takes can take any value. In that case, that solution is unbounded solution. Then alternative solution, that is the problem has more than one solution with the same optimum cost. Infeasible solution, that means where solution does not exist. Then next topic is transportation problem. We will study transportation problem. The next objective is we will study game theory. These are the topics of game theory. Saddle point, max-min or minimax criteria. These are the methods of solving 2x2 games or 2-person zero-sum game. Then 2-person or 2x2 game without saddle points. How to solve if the saddle point does not exist. Then graphical method to solve n cross 2 or 2 cross n games. And dominance property, how to solve a problem in game theory using dominance property. These are the objectives of this course. After studying this course, what are the outcomes? If you study this course, then after successful completion of this course, students are expected to solve the linear programming problem by graphical method and by simplex method. Students are expected to learn unbounded solution, alternative solution, infeasible solutions of a linear programming problem in graphical method as well as in simplex method. Then you will understand the standard and canonical form of linear programming problem. Before studying the simplex method, we require canonical form. Now, this is a learning outcome from transportation problem. You are able to find optimum solution of transportation problem by using MODI method. MODI means modified distribution method. Then there is another chapter, assignment problems. You are able to solve this assignment problem using Hungarian technique or Hungarian method. Then there are different types: unbalanced, balanced assignment problem, maximization case in assignment problem, restricted assignment problems, and alternative solutions in assignment problem. Then next outcome is from the game theory. You will be able to understand saddle point, maximum, minimax principle to solve the game, 2% zero sum game. And finally, you can use dominance property to find solution of the games. So first chapter is linear programming problem. There is one topic, one article, how to formation of linear programming problem. Then how to solve a linear programming problem by graphical method, special cases in linear programming problem where we have unbounded solution, alternative solution, infeasible solution, that is when solution does not exist, standard and canonical form of LPP. This is chapter 1. In the second chapter, we will learn simplex method. The procedure of finding solution by simplex method, solution of LPP by simplex method. Then there are some problems in which artificial variables are used to solve linear programming problem. It is known as Big M method. Special cases in LPP, unbounded solution, alternative solution, and infeasible solution. Now, third chapter is a transportation problem. General transportation problem. That means how to form a transportation problem, then transportation table, how to construct a table, methods of finding initial solution, initial basic feasible solution. There are different methods: north-west corner rule, matrix minima method, or it is a least cost method. And important method is Vogel's approximation method. These are the three methods of finding initial solution. After getting an initial solution, we test that solution for optimality, whether the transportation cost is minimum or not. So optimality test and optimization of solution of a transportation problem by UV method or modified distribution method. Again, there are different cases. We can have alternate solution in transportation problem, a maximization case in transportation problem, unbalanced transportation problem, and restricted transportation problem. This is a degeneracy in transportation problem. So we will see what is a degenerate solution and how to resolve this degeneracy in transportation problem. Then chapter 4 is assignment problem. Mathematical formulation of assignment problem. Then there is a method of solving assignment problem known as Hungarian technique or Hungarian method. Now, special cases, again, we can have alternate solution to a transportation problem. We can solve a transportation problem with maximization case. We will see what is the unbalanced transportation, unbalanced assignment problem, and restricted assignment problem. And the last chapter is a game theory. Two-person zero-sum game. Then to solve a two-person zero-sum game, we will first define what are the strategies, pure strategies, mixed strategies, and value of the game. Then there is a method, maximin or minimax principle, to solve the game, two-person zero-sum game. Then graphical solution of 2x2 game. Sorry, this is a algebraic solution of 2x2 game without saddle point. And augment method. All right. Now, game without saddle points, where mixed strategies are used to solve that game. Then there are some problems of special type, m by 2 or 2 by n games can be solved by graphical method, and some certain problems can also be solved by dominance property and using algebraic method, combination of two methods. So this is a syllabus of this course. We will begin this course with the assignment problem. So let us see the assignment problem. Let us understand what is the assignment problem. Suppose that we have to perform n jobs on n machines. For example, suppose we have 4 jobs and 4 machines. And 1 job per machine. That means we will perform 1 job per machine. We assume that each job can be performed on each machine. First job can be performed on all these 4 machines. Second job can be performed on these 4 machines. Third job can also be performed on these 4 machines, as well as fourth job can be performed on all these 4 machines. But with varying cost of assignment. That means the cost of performing these 4 jobs on these 4 machines. That means first job, if you perform on the first machine, and the same job when we perform on the second machine, the cost of performing may be different, may be same, but usually it is different. It can be same. So each job can be performed on each of these machines with varying costs. Let Cij denote the cost of performing ith job on jth machine. This C means cost of performing ith job on jth machine. The problem is to find an assignment. What is an assignment? That is, which job should be assigned to which machine, which job we should perform on which machine. This is an assignment. So find that assignment so that the total cost of performing all the job is minimum. Total cost of performing all the job, that is all 4 jobs on the 4 machine, is minimum. So this is known as assignment problem. Now we first formulate this assignment problem as a mathematical problem, mathematical formulation of this situation. So the assignment problem can be stated using n cross n cost matrix. N cross n, it is this matrix we denote by, this is a ith row jth column element Cij, and the order is n cross n. This is n cross n matrix of real numbers as follows. So on the left hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n, these are the n jobs. On the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to n, these are the n machines. And C11, C12 to C1n. These are the costs of performing job number 1 on the first machine, job number 1 on the second machine. The cost of performing job 1 on the nth machine is C1n. Then second row, costs of performing second job on the first machine, second machine, third machine, sorry, jth machine and nth machine. This is the general row. Ith row, that is the cost of performing ith job on the first machine, Ci1. Cost of performing ith job on the second machine, Ci2, and so on. Last is the cost of performing ith job on nth machine. The last row, Cn1, that is the cost of performing nth job on first machine, cost of performing nth job on second machine, and so on. Cnn is the cost of performing nth job on nth machine. So these are the jobs on the left hand side. On the top, 1, 2, 3 up to n are the machines, and the matrix contains costs of performing these n jobs on n machines. Now we require variable. So let xij, this is a variable in the problem, because without variable we cannot formulate the problem. So xij denote assignment of ith job to jth machine, such that what are the values of xij? Xij take only two values, 1 and 0. When we assign ith job to jth machine, in that case the value of xij is 1, and when ith job does not assign to the jth machine, then the value of this variable is 0. So it takes only two values. One, when we assign ith job to jth machine, in that case it is 1, otherwise its value is 0. So this is a variable in the problem. Then mathematically, assignment problem can be stated as minimize z. So it is a summation, double summation, Cij into Xij. We will see what is this product. Then J varies from 1 to n, I varies from 1 to n. I means there are n jobs, so there are n jobs, I equal to 1 to n. I we use for jobs, and J will, this suffix we use for machines. So there are n jobs and n machines. Now the product. Cij is the cost of performing ith job on jth machine. Note that this product, because variable takes only two values. If xij is 1, we get Cij, and when xij is 0, we get 0. That means this product is either Cij or it is 0. This is either Cij or it is 0. It is Cij when we assign ith job to the jth machine. In that case, this value is Cij. Otherwise, this value is 0. So minimize this cost. That means it contains only cost of performing ith job to jth machine. When we assign that ith job to jth machine, as well as when we do not assign the ith job to jth machine, in that case this value is 0. So it contains all the cost. So minimize this total cost of performing all the n jobs on n machine, subject to the conditions. These are the conditions. These conditions are called constraints. So what is the first condition? Summation xij j equal to 1 to n is 1. Now j is changing from 1 to n. J we are using for machines. So from first machine, this is a summation from first machine to nth machine. And first suffix is I. That is, this is the ith job. When j is 1, that is, this is a variable xij. That is, its value is 1 when we assign ith job to jth machine. Then in that case, this value is 1. So when, what are the terms here? When we put j equal to 1, we get xi1, then xi2 to xin. J, last value of j is n, is equal to 1. Right? Now this variable can take only two values, either 1 or 0. So if it is 1, suppose this is 1, then the right hand side is also 1. So all other variables will be 0. So that means only one variable is 1 in this n terms, n summation of n terms. Only one value is 1 and other values will be 0, because variable is taking only two values, 1 or 0, and we require this sum equal to 1. So this sum is 1 means what? There are n machines, so out of n machines, ith job is assigned to only one machine. What happens if we assign to two machines? If you assign ith job to two machines, suppose we assign it to the first machine as well as to the second machine, then in that case, this variable will take value 1, this variable also take value 1, and 1 plus 1 will be 2, and the equation will not be a valid equation. We want the sum equal to 1. So that means we cannot assign the ith job to more than one machine. We have to assign it to only one machine. So this sum is 1. It indicates that out of n machines, j equal to 1 to n, there are n machines. J we are using for machines. So out of n machines, ith job is assigned to only one machine. Then second equation, again xij, now the summation is from I equal to 1 to n. I we are using for job. So there are n jobs. N job. And j means machine. Again, there are n terms in this summation. Now I is changing from 1 to n. So it is x1j, x2j, and so on, xnj. J is the jth machine. That is, this sum is 1. This sum is 1. It means out of n jobs, only one job is assigned to the jth machine. Out of n jobs, only one job is assigned to the jth machine, because if we assign two jobs to the jth machine, in that case, two variables will take value 1 and 1 plus 1 will be 2, but we do not want this value on the left hand side greater than 1. We do not want it 2, 3, 4. We want it 1. So it is possible only when we assign one job to the, out of n jobs, when we assign one job, only one job to the jth machine. In that case, this sum will be 1. So these are the conditions. And finally, we write the values of the variables. Variables are always non-negative variables in all the problems, that is in linear programming problems, transportation problem, assignment problems. Variables are always non-negative variables. So in this assignment problem also, the variable is taking value 0, only two values, 0 or 1. So variable, finally we write xij is equal to 1 or xij equal to 0. So this is how we formulate. This is how we formulate the assignment problem. So minimize the total cost of performing all the n jobs on n machines subject to this condition, that is, out of n job, only one job is assigned to the jth machines, and out of n machines, only one machine is assigned to the one job. That is, out of n machines, ith job is assigned to only one machine. That is, any one job is assigned to only one machine. So this is how we formulate the transportation problem. Now we will see the method of solving this assignment problem. Now the method of solving assignment problem is known as Hungarian method or Hungarian technique. Assignment algorithm. It is also called assignment algorithm. Algorithm means computational procedure for an assignment problem. So here is one theorem. We will first read it and then we will see the Hungarian technique. If in an assignment problem, we have seen the assignment problem can be stated using the n cross n cost matrix. So there are n rows and n columns. If in an assignment problem, the same constant is added or subtracted to every element of a row. So consider the first row, you subtract the same constant from all the entries or add the same constant to all the entries in this first row or first column of the cost matrix. Then in an assignment, that is a solution, an assignment which minimizes the total cost of one matrix will also minimize the total cost of other matrix. That means the solution will not change. If you add certain number to any one row from all the, if you add a certain number, certain constant to all entries in a certain row or all entries in a certain column, if you add certain number, then we get another matrix, another cost matrix by adding that number to a certain row or to a certain column. So we have two cost matrix, original cost matrix and a matrix obtained by adding that number to the certain row. So the theorem says that an assignment which minimizes the total cost of one matrix. So now an assignment which will minimize this, the cost of assignment for this matrix will also minimize the cost of assignment for the second matrix. That means the solution in both cases will be same. So that we can add certain number to the rows of an assignment problem and we can subtract certain elements from the rows of an assignment problem. So we will see the procedure of finding this solution of an assignment problem. Now the technique is known as Hungarian method or Hungarian technique. Step first, subtract the minimum element of each row from all the entries in that row. So select the step is we have to subtract minimum element of each row. So that means we begin with the first row, select the smallest element and subtract it from all the entries in the first row. So similarly, we repeat it for the second row, third row and fourth row. If there are 4 rows, then we repeat the process for all the 4 rows. Then repeat step 1 for column. That means then look at the columns starting with the first column, subtract the minimum element of each column from all the entries in that column. So now the step 1 is repeated for column. Then step number 3, cover all zeros with minimum number of horizontal and vertical lines or vertical lines, or it is a combination of horizontal and vertical lines. So when we subtract minimum element of each row from all the entries in that row, you will get zeros. Similarly, we perform the same procedure for column. So in subtraction will give you zeros. So we have to cover those zeros with minimum number of horizontal and vertical lines or combination of horizontal and vertical lines. For this, make an assignment so that one and only one zero is utilized in each row and column. So that means in the cost matrix, we want 1 0 in each row and each column. That is 1 0 is used in each row and each column. So that means it will give you the solution if this is a situation. Now while making an assignment, start from the first row, make an assignment in a row which contain a single zero. So we start these assignments from the first row and we look at the rows in the cost matrix starting from the first row and look at the rows containing single zero. So whenever we get single zero, make an assignment there. So that means if zero is there, we make an assignment. That means we draw a square around that assignment. So we are making an assignment in a row. So what we will do, we will cross that column and draw a vertical lines. When we make assignment in a row, what we will do, we draw a vertical lines. That is, we cross that column where we have made an assignment. Then do the same for column and draw the horizontal line. So when we search a single zero in first row, second row, third row, and say so there are 5 rows. So search the single zero in all the 5 rows. Then after that, look at the columns containing single zeros. So when you look at the columns containing single zero, first column, second column, suppose third column contain a single zero, then we cross that, we use that zero in the third column and draw the horizontal line. That means when we make an assignment in the column, we draw horizontal line. So in this way, we get vertical lines, horizontal lines. For one assignment, we are drawing one line, either horizontal or vertical. Now we get solution when the number of lines is equal to the order of the cost matrix. So this step, in this step, you may get a solution when the number of lines is equal to the order of the matrix. Suppose the order of the matrix is 4, that means there are 4 jobs, 4 machines, and you are getting 4 lines, horizontal and vertical lines. 4 lines are there. Then in that case, you will get a solution. And what happens if the number of lines are not equal to order of the matrix? Order of the matrix is say 5 and we are getting 4 lines. Then this is not optimum solution. So to get optimum solution, let us see what is a fourth step. When we do not get the optimum solutions in step 3, we have to perform step number 4. So what is the step number 4? Subtract. So first we find the lowest uncovered number. That means what are the uncovered numbers? Because we have drawn some vertical lines, we have drawn some horizontal line in the cost matrix. Some number are lies on these lines in the cost matrix. Some of the entries will lie on this line. So other numbers are called uncovered numbers, and the numbers on these lines are will be called as a covered numbers. We want uncovered number. Select the lowest uncovered number in the cost matrix. So the number which do not lies on this horizontal vertical line. Select the smallest uncovered number. From all the uncovered number, we select the smallest uncovered number. Then what we will do? Add this number. Subtract this number from all the uncovered numbers. So first of all, we select the smallest uncovered number and subtract it from all the uncovered numbers. So if 2 is the smallest uncovered number, subtract 2 from all uncovered numbers. All right. Then add the same number, that is this number 2, which is smallest uncovered number or lowest uncovered number. Add it to the numbers which are on the intersections of horizontal and vertical line. So these are the intersections. There are some numbers. We have to add this 2 or this lowest uncovered number to the numbers which are on the intersection of horizontal and vertical lines. So if there are 4 numbers which lies on the intersection, we have to add 2 on these 4 numbers. And what about other number which do not change other numbers? So what are the other numbers? There are uncovered numbers, there are covered numbers. So from the uncovered numbers we subtract, on the intersection we add, and there are some other which are not on the intersection, but those numbers lies on this line but not on the intersection. Do not change those number. So this is a process, and again it contains subtraction. Subtraction will give you more zeros, so you are getting more zeros, so we can have more assignments and you may get the optimum solution. So then apply step 3. That means again we have to cover all these zeros with minimum number of horizontal vertical lines, and when the number of lines are equal to order of the matrix, that is an optimum solution. Continue step 3 and 4 repeatedly until we get solution. That means until we get number of horizontal and vertical lines equal to the order of the matrix. So this is a Hungarian technique. So we will solve some examples on this Hungarian technique, using this Hungarian technique.